Hey everyone, today I'm going to share with you 4 simple Pokemon crafts. We're going to start with a Pokeball card. You need 2 paper plates, some red, white, and black paper, some glue, some things that you can trace circles with, and some scissors. As you can see here, we wrote a cute little message to my son's father, and the second paper plate you're going to want to cut in half. Grab your red paper, and then what I did was I sandwiched the red paper between the 2 halves so that I could get a clear tracing that would fit even when the paper plate was folded, if that makes sense. So then you just cut that out. And use some glue. You can use glue stick or a glue bottle, whatever you want, and stick that paper down, flip it upside down, and make sure you put some pressure on it. Next, grab something that seems like it's the right size circle and trace it on your black paper. And of course, cut that out. I think you can probably see where we're going here, but next I'm going to use the black paper to cut a straight line that I can glue along the bottom straight edge of the red semicircle. Next, you're going to need to find something that is circular, that is a little bit smaller than what you used for the black circle. Trace that on some white paper and cut that out as well. Of course, then you'll just glue the white circle to the black circle and the black circle to the Pokeball. And I did this, I guess I glued it a little bit more than halfway onto the Pokeball. And that's really as simple as this is. The only other thing that you can do is punch some holes in the paper plate and tie it to the bottom plate. Now, I didn't have a hole punch ready when I was filming this, so I did not do that here, but you get the picture. Our second craft is going to be card art. I don't know about you, but I have a lot of cards sitting around, especially the elemental cards, so I thought this one would be a lot of fun. You're going to need to trace the shape of a Charmander, the silhouette, and I did this first too small, so here I'm going to go ahead and do it quite a bit bigger on a piece of 8.5 by 11 paper, and you will see my doodling process here. I erase and redraw so many times, so don't ever feel discouraged if you are struggling to get the image to look just right. Just keep trying and you'll get it eventually, I promise. Once you're happy with your finished silhouette, you can go ahead and cut that out. Next, you will need a piece of black paper, and you're going to want to trace that silhouette onto the black paper and cut it out again. Now you're going to want to be careful when cutting this out because you're actually going to cut from the inside rather than the outside. So you want to keep the outside of this picture intact. like this. Once you have that cut out, you can go ahead and grab your frame. And now you're going to need to grab your cards. So what I did was I laid a piece of white paper down, put the black silhouette on top, and then tried to figure out where I wanted to put a single Charmander card. Once I kind of had an idea of that, I just went ahead and taped it down. And from there, you're going to want to place elemental cards around that first card until you cover the entire area that would show through that silhouette. You could certainly do this with a black background and it might look a little bit better between the cards because you do see some gaps with those rounded corners, but I don't mind the way it looks with the white paper as the background. Now here, I'm gonna commit blasphemy. I have to cut the Pokemon cards. This hurt my soul, but it was either cut one card or bend two of them, so I chose to cut one. And once you have that entire silhouette covered, you can go ahead and put your picture together. I seriously love the way this turned out. The third Pokemon craft is going to be a Pikachu painting, and this one Oliver actually did with me. You just need paper, a drawing of a Pikachu silhouette, and some yellow paint and a canvas. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out this Pikachu silhouette that I had drawn. Grab your canvas and decide where you want to put the Pikachu silhouette. You could definitely do it in the center, or you could do it towards one corner like I did. It's totally up to you. Or your children if you're doing this with your children. Once I was confident that was taped down well, I actually went ahead and preemptively painted around the silhouette because I know my son, and I just know that he would be upset with himself for getting paint under the silhouette. So I just went ahead and did it, and I'm gonna let him paint the rest of the canvas. So I told my son what we were doing, and here you can see I'm explaining to him that he can paint all over the rest of the canvas. I'm asking him which color. He chose this one, so I'm gonna get it ready for him. And I could have cut all this out, but honestly, I just really love seeing his little hand come up and paint. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Just watch as I'm gonna actually paint the top half because it was taking too long and he was getting angry with me. So I covered the majority of it and then let him make some strokes with his paintbrush, and he was really happy with it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this little montage speed painting with my son's hand popping in and out. So again, this is what the finished painting looks like, and I can honestly say my 3-year-old had so much fun doing this. I think it would be fun for older and younger children as well. The last craft that I'm going to be sharing today is a Pokeball Sun Catcher, and this one genuinely was so much fun. So you need some Elmer's glue, some tissue paper, some black paper, and then I actually used perler ironing paper, and again, you're going to need some things that you can trace circles with. Oh, you could also use transfer paper if you have that. So I found a large plate, and here I'm just tracing it on the transfer paper. This is going to be the outer outline of the Pokeball. And then this is really similar to the first craft. You're just gonna make 2 more circles on the inside, and you'll see mine are totally off center, but that's okay, do not worry. And you'll see in a minute, but I actually colored in those circles, and it doesn't matter because I put paper on afterwards. Now you can go ahead and grab your first color of tissue paper. So for the Pokeball, you're gonna need red and white. Here I'm gonna start by tearing up a bunch of red pieces, and you'll see I was trying to show my son how to tear this tissue paper, but he was having a really hard time with it, so he tore a couple pieces, and then I just went ahead and tore the rest up for him. Since he wasn't so keen on that, I went ahead and tore up the white that he was going to need as well. While I was doing this, my son was playing with little dinosaurs. You'll see here in a minute. He just kept walking them around. So cute. So I called him over again, and I put some glue down. You'll see I just put a bunch down and then used a paintbrush to spread it out. And I explained to him that he could just start picking up pieces and sticking them where he wanted. So you just want to cover this entire top half of the Pokeball with pieces, and when you start to run out of space for the big pieces, you can actually go ahead and put another layer of glue on. It's not going to hurt anything, and then you can stick the bigger pieces on those little spots that are still showing. And once you're happy with that, go ahead and cover the inner circle with some glue, and you're going to want to cover that with white tissue paper. And then cover the bottom half of the Pokeball with glue and cover that with white tissue paper as well. And at this point, I totally lost my son's interest. He was over playing with his dinosaurs and Pokemon. So I finished this up for him. And here's where I realized I didn't like the way the black looked, so I'm actually just going to cut out some black paper to cover everything that I had made black on the Pokeball Sun Catcher. And I just went ahead and glued it down. And then what you're going to need to do is cut another piece of transfer or ironing paper that is big enough to cover your entire Pokeball. Put some glue on that. I went ahead and used the paintbrush to spread it out again, and then I just stuck the two together. Don't be afraid to add more glue, especially around the edges. You want to make sure that those are nice and secure. And once it's dry, you can cut it out and it's ready to put on a window. Here are 3 of the finished crafts. I hope you guys enjoyed, and please let me know if you complete any of these crafts or make anything like them, I'm actually trying to think of some other sun catchers that I can make because Oliver was amazed when I held this up to the window. That is all I have for today. I will see you guys in the next one.